Oh my. Looks what I got in my collection for a review. A spas game. Into the intro. Well, greetings everyone. It's Delion Fantasy 60 here, and I'm doing another miniatures review. A very ancient, it's already not available review. This is Firestorm Armada Storm Zone Battle for Valhalla 2-player starter sets. Now let's see. Right, this game is made by Spartan Games. Most of you will know that Spartan Games was also responsible for releasing Dystopian Wars, another fleet game they made, except that was set in the steampunk era, Victorian age. And currently, there is the current holders of Dystopian Wars is War Cradle Studio, and I know War Cradle Studio is gonna be releasing Firestorm Armada in their version, but this is from the Spartan era games that's no longer available. And you can see what you get from the box. I got this from a eBay seller on a very expensive one. Just tell me it's just the most costly one. But look at the ship designs. It's very it's all made out of resin. It's complete and everything is in there for you to start a game. That's basically 2 factions. Just like Dystopian Wars, they come with factions, has multiple factions, and here's the what's in the back. It's basically a scenario. It's got like a 2-player starter. I don't know what the exact cost back then was released, but I assume it's somewhere around $100, somewhere around the $100 range. This was released by around 2017 or 16, even before that. Yeah, it's very well illustrated, and even have that shipyard that comes in it, and a new battleship for the battle group, and some fighters and bombers. So this is an excellent space game, and now let's see what we got. And let me pause the video and set it up. It came with the second edition of Firestorm Armada, the book. All this interesting stuff. I had a few read on it, and I was immediately hooked with the lore. And basically, I read the Dystopian Wars, and it's just the same. It uses the exploding die mechanic on them, and it's basically when you score a 6, you get to re-roll again. Plus that 6 is considered 2 hits, and every time you score a hit, you re-roll it until it stops scoring 6. There's a lot of dice rule in here. Yeah, it's like Dystopian War, so later be released, and these are all the factions you get. They come in separate fleet packs. And here the homeworld. Hopefully War Cradle Studios, they don't change the lore. I hope they keep the lore in this one, because they did that on the Dystopian Wars, and the ships are okay for me, but they have different names. Their factions. It's basically the same, but I just want the lore to be the same with this one, because this is actually a good game. So I cannot wait to paint these guys once I assemble them. Yeah, it comes with ships, squadrons, all that stuff. I'm just gonna skip the few books. So I saw that review of Angry Joe and his friends were reviewing about the Halo game, and they kind of they said it's just a it's a novel for the manual. Yeah, that's very true, but that's most games like that are like that. And they're comparing it to Star Wars Armada and Star Trek Attack Wing. I can understand from their perspective. Those games recruit itself, so when this came out, I was already into the Star Wars Armada, and I'm transitioning to 40K. And here comes the pamphlet, the scenario rulebook. Tells you what scenario would run. So it will get you, it'll start you easy, and then it'll get advanced difficulty. That's a scenario booklet in here. All the lore and will be added if you read it. So let me check on the ships. Alright, and here are the tokens. Battle tokens, asteroids. With 3D printing, you can make your own asteroids now these days. Probably what I'm gonna be doing with some of my space battles. And here is the tokens and markers for morales, and this is for that space station. But I don't know why they decided to clear plastic. Were they just gonna paint it? Oh well. Fighter dice for the SA tokens, fighters, and stands, cards, more cards, dice, of course, the ships, like small frigates. I'm not gonna open it yet, but you can see in some of those. Oh, this must be part of the space station. It's resin. Like these days with 3D printing, you can build these things and add more stuff. And Alliance cruisers, I think. And there's some flasks that you have to work on. That's not a problem. Yeah, I worked with resin before. My Dystopian Wars. Speaking of Dystopian Wars, I'm expanding my Dystopian Wars collection. I'll do another review of that one. I already made a review of that game, but many years ago when it released. But I think it's due for a current release update video or something. I'm gonna do a battle report for that one too. And you got the Drancy Federation frigates or cruisers or whatever they are. More ships. And these are the fighter tokens and some of the components. This must be parts for the space station. And parts of, no, this is part of the Federation's battleship. Yeah, they have an interesting lore in there. So I think I'm gonna assemble this tonight and try to see, give you an update on these guys and the ships. You can play I can start painting these guys. I'm currently painting still more with other stuff. So here's the stand. It's kind of like similar to Dystopian Wars. And let us come back and I will see what's it like for an assembled ship. Well, looks like I had assembled it. It took the whole night, but it's done. The only thing that I need to fix up here is the pegs for the thing, but on like the battleship for the Drancy Federation, I'm probably gonna cut it off, but I managed to finish everything here. It's fully assembled and ready for priming. And I will prime everything, including this acrylic stand in here. This was hard to work with because of the acrylic and the resins weren't sticking well, but now it's dry up. I'll I'll be able to it'll harden itself. And as for this thing, I'm not gonna glue it in there because all of these are extra pegs I can put on my dystopian war bombers that came into me like a month ago. Some of them did not have any pegs, so extra pegs for them. That solved the issue. Fighter tokens. I trim much as I can with those things, and they're also ready to prime. The Drancy Federation battleship. Oh, it's big, really huge, and you can see the color from the box art. I'm gonna color it like that. I like the black color and the red that comes with it. Same as the Terran with their white color schemes. So I'm gonna have to do some painting. This won't be a problem for me. I think I'm gonna hit the Drancy Federation first because I think they're like blackish, dark, black gray. I think that's gonna blend well, but I'm gonna have to prime them gray first, all of them tomorrow, later today. So it's 3 a.m. right here, and I'm ready for bedtime for this thing. So this is my update. Next up will be all painted up and ready for the final review, because I want to make this a little bit shorter. So it's Leon Francis 6D, waiting for the next segment for this. Stay tuned. Well, it's finally completed. It almost took me 2 weeks to finish, and I finally painted all the miniatures of this starter set. As you can see here, you can put a little background in there. Just ignore the white background, and you can see that I put some detailing in this thing and copy much as I can from the book and the box art, and it came out pretty well. The first thing I had to do was the Drancy Federation ships. They were pretty easy. They were kind of like black, and they just added some silver and red on them. Mostly Vallejo paints and Citadel. And I washed them with Numb Oil and Igrax Urshies on some of them. As you can see, the frigates over here. And as for the fighter bomber tokens, the SR tokens, I didn't put the dice on there, but paint them black, washed them, and did a little bit of silver highlighting. And to make that thing green, I made it just regular green. That reminds me, I need to get me up Citadel glow green again because it's drying up. But I added a Vallejo light green in there to make it yellow green. Same thing what I did with the Terran Alliance fighters and bombers. Yeah, it is. I just washed it. I finished the station last. What I did was work on the Drancy Federation forces and moved on to the Terran Alliance. As for the battleship, there was no problem. I gave it the more dirtier look, kind of like it's been in battle for quite a while and wear and tear. Same thing with the station, but the problem with the station is the little hook that's standing up that makes it stand. One of them broke, so I have to re-glue them. It came out pretty perfectly, so I give it a little, when I was trying to give it a weathering, but it came out pretty perfectly. So overall, this is basically the collection. My first time having a Firestorm Armada. Now I'm hoping for War Cradle Studio when they come out, they stick with the universe is still set on, and same scale, and you can have basically a continuing universe and continue more support in this, so we can reuse this again. But we won't know until they release it, maybe next year or whatever they release it. So I'm gonna be excited to play a little scenario games with this. The booklet has scenarios for this Valhalla set. It makes you let you start with the frigates and onto the cruisers, then get them together with the fighters, and later the big capital ships. Yeah, this Tyrant class battleship looks pretty menacing. All right, definitely worthy its name. As for the bottom of the ship, since the artwork I was trying to copy, I just pretty much just guessed work on what's in the bottom of the warship when I painted it. And for the Grand Sea battleship, I had to cut off one of the pegs to make it more even. As you can see right now, it's pretty stable, but I might have to put something to stabilize these cruisers over here. So please leave a comment about it. How do I can fix this? Well, I'll figure out my way. I'll figure out how I do it. So I think this is my overall review for this game. I hope you enjoy this, and please leave a comment and subscribe and hit that notification bell. Later.